So the distance between 2 points P, which has an x coordinate of -2 and a y of a, and Q, which has an x coordinate of a -2 and a y of -7, the distance between these 2 points is 17. We're asked to find the values of a. So in this question over here, because they're talking about distance, we have to keep in mind the distance formula. So if you're given 2 coordinates, x1, y1, and x2, y2, the distance between these 2 points is going to be found by taking the square root of x1 minus x2 all squared plus y1 minus y2 all squared. So all we need to do is just make one of these points x1, y1, the other point x2, y2, substitute those values into this formula, and set that formula equal to 17, because that's the distance between these 2 points. So we're going to let the point Q be the point x1, y1, and the point P be the point x2, y2. So keep in mind the distance between x1, y1 and x2, y2 is this formula. We're going to have the distance from P to Q is equal to the square root of x1 minus x2 all squared plus y1 minus y2 all squared is equal to 17. So we're going to take now x1, which is a minus 2, sub it in place of the x1 here. Take the y1, minus 7, put in place of the y1. And similarly for P, for x2, which is minus 2, we're going to substitute it in place of the x2. And y2, which is a, we're going to sub in place of y2. So that's going to give us the following. So just be careful though when you say x1 minus x2, that's going to be a minus 2 minus 2. So that's going to give us a minus 2 plus 2. And then plus minus 7 minus a all squared. And we know that the distance between these 2 points P and Q is 17. So we set their distance equal to 17. And now we just solve for a. So straight away, if you have a square root on the left-hand side, the square root's over the whole value on the left-hand side, we can get rid of the square root by squaring this side, but what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So that means that this a minus 2 plus 2 is just going to become a squared plus minus 7 minus a all squared. And that's going to be equal to this 17, because you squared the left, we're also going to square the right. So 17 squared is 289. And now we just expand this bracket. So that's going to be a squared plus minus 7 squared is positive 49. Minus 7 times minus a is positive 7a, times 2 is 14a. And minus a squared is positive a squared. So this is a quadratic equation. We're going to get everything to one side and factorize if possible, or use the quadratic formula. So getting everything to one side, a squared plus a squared will become 2a squared. We have the 14a staying as 14a. But to take the 289 to the left, we have to minus both sides by 289. So 49 minus 289 is minus 240. And that's all equal to 0. We can divide everything by 2 to simplify it, and now we can factorize or use the quadratic formula to find the values of a. So if you factorize this, you'll get a minus 8, a plus 15. So either we have a minus 8 equal to 0, or a plus 15 is equal to 0, which gives us our values of a equals 8, or a equals minus 15. So if a equals 8, then we would get P is equal to minus 2 and 8, and Q would be equal to 6 and minus 7. If a equals minus 15, then we would get P is equal to minus 2 and minus 15, and Q would be equal to minus 17 and minus 7. So when P and Q have these values, the distance between them is 17, and when P and Q have these values, the distance between them is 17.